Ken Kraetzer for Canvas Media at West Point. Army getting set to play North Texas on Saturday. Mikey Saban had a chance to talk to the offensive coordinator. That's Cody Worley. And Coach, really just going back to Kansas State, what a performance by Cale Helms. 124 net yards, 152 gain, 41 carries. When you looked at his film, talked to him afterwards, what were some of the thoughts you had?
I mean, one, I thought it was a really gritty performance. You know, your first start is against Kansas State on the road, and the type of game that it turned into and how he responded. You know, the plays that he made and some of the plays that get overshadowed, but, you know, scrambling outside the pocket and throwing it away. You know, that's a veteran quarterback move. You know, that doesn't look like a kid that's in his first start. You know, and not forcing things down the drive before the end of the first half. You know, we have a sprint out play. He sprints out, throws it away, and we score on fourth down. You know, so he played within the confines of himself. He was himself. He's a gamer and did a really good job of handling things. But I was really proud of just how we responded as a team overall. And really just a gritty performance to find a way in the fourth quarter to be down and to find a way to win a game. When you're behind in the fourth quarter, that shows growth of this football team. So I was really proud of everybody overall. All three phases came through in the clutch and made huge plays in the game, and we found a way to win as a team.
And you mentioned the play at the end of the first half, the throw into the end zone, the right corner for the touchdown. How much of that is the call that you made versus what Cale saw was going to work?
Yeah, you know, we line up in that type of formation, and a lot of times it is a run. So in that situation on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, you know, we wanted to present a heavy run formation and try to catch them off guard. And luckily we did, and they cut Brady and Noah loose on that play. And we slid the protection, so we had to put Hayden Reed on the defensive end one-on-one. So Cale had to put on the brakes and really roll out to his right to find Brady in the end zone for a fall diving touchdown catch to end the half. And really that gave us confidence moving forward, going into halftime, knowing we were getting the ball. Now we didn't do anything with it when we got it. On the first drive of the second half, they did a good job with some adjustments, and we went 3 and out. But it gave us confidence moving forward that we can play, we can hang, we can move the ball. And it was really a critical drive in the game when you look at it, to cut it to 1-score game and give us an opportunity in the second half.
Hey, in the second half, you went 14 plays, 89 yards, 7 minutes, 53 seconds. And the big play was the Noah short option pass to Brady Anderson. Tell us about that play.
Yeah, so we started repping that in the spring. And it's, you know, I think every offense, when you look at it, there's some people call them gadget plays. You know, I typically like to look at them as complementary plays. So if everything is built off of something that you've done, you know, so we've ran that play out of that formation quite a bit in the last 2 years. So I really saw it as a compliment play. And I thought our guys did a tremendous job executing it. I mean, it was flawless. I thought the right tackle, Teddy Williams, had to hold a block on number 8, who's one of their best defensive ends, for a full 3 seconds. And just the overall execution of the play of Noah catching it, tucking it away, and throwing a really good ball. And for Brady, you know, that ball hung up in the air. It wasn't a lollipop by any means, but it does hang up in the air. And when you're that wide open, you know, for him to have the poise to nose it to the tuck and get yards after the catch, you know, it was a huge play in the game on a 2nd long in minus territory that really sprung that drive.
And then you had the big 4th down conversion, 4th and 4th of 5, I believe it was, and Cale got you the first down, and then he scored. I think it was the next play, a 1-yard run. How clutch was that?
Super clutch. You know, admittedly, we had been going through several 4th downs, you know, and some of them were manageable where you feel good about it, and some of them were really challenging. A 4th and 4 in that situation is a very hard call. So, you know, I even asked Coach, like, I need some time, so we took a timeout so I could think through it. But I wanted to give Cale an opportunity for a run-pass option in that situation. So we ran a boot, and he made a great decision. We had a great block on the perimeter by the B-back, Carson Smith, to kind of spring it. And luckily, we were able to get the first down and move the chains, 1st and goal, and we scored on the next play. But that's a clutch play for sure, critical play in the game, and it led to that touchdown.
And then after you get the onside kick, you have the ball back, you're down 21-17, and then Kilhelm's got a 14-yard run. And it just seemed to me that Kansas State was a little worn down at that point.
When you look at it, we score to go up 1 point, and then they returned it 99 yards for a touchdown. So the response that it took for us to go back out on the field and at least get a field goal or an opportunity for a score was huge, to cut into the lead. And then we go to kickoff, so we settle for a field goal. We're down 4. We go to kickoff, and we had a squib kick on, and Anderson Britton did exactly what he's coached to do, and luckily it hit the kid, and we were able to recover, and we finished that drive off. But to me, that embodies our culture and who we are. And we were able to stay on the field and wear them down in the 4th quarter because they had to stay on the field the entire time. And that's a product of our training and how we practice and the things that we don't take those things for granted. And luckily, the third and 4 call, and it was incredibly well blocked up front. Kel hit the crease and walked into the end zone. That was a huge play in the game.
Yeah, and just one more thought on Kansas State is Kilhelm's ran the ball 41 times, and in our alumni show, we kind of had a debate about, was that simplifying the offense a little bit because it was his first start, and just make ball management more secure?
I would say 50% of those were designed. The other 50% are option plays, which sometimes are designed to get handed off. Some are designed to run. Some are designed to pitch. That's the great thing about running triple. Some of those, he kept the ball in the option. Some of them were scrambles on pass plays. Some of them were RPOs. In late in the game, 3 of his carries were milking the clock and trying to get to win the game. But just to see him manage that, you don't go into a game expecting the quarterback to, I don't care who you are, you don't expect the quarterback to carry it 40 times. But, some of those things, that's kind of who he is, and he's very similar to Bryson in terms of his workload and what he can handle. I don't want to put 40 carries on him, but we did what we had to do to win.